Hello, this is Caleb with Garvin Sewer Service. I am at, give me 1 second. I am at 11491 West 60th Avenue. That's 11491 West 60th Avenue. So this is a preventative maintenance. I think maybe there's a house sale happening. And so what we did is we cambered the line first, and I saw there was roots in the clay. So when because of the tight fitting in the laundry room where we had to remove the washer and dryer, we have a clean out stack where we're operating from today. That's where my camera is going through right now. We cambered the line snaked the line 3 times with my sewer cleaning machine. And I wanted to make sure that we got the roots adequately so I can get a good scoping for the video. So I put my camera through here and put it all the way out to the city. So what we're watching going left from right is the city, going from, I think, west to east, but I may be wrong on that. So this is the city connection that we're looking at. We are on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. You'll see a distance. That is our distance indicator telling us how far horizontally we are. And so we are 72.5 feet to the city connection. And we're going to slowly come back to give a good, I've already gotten my information forward, but I wanted to make sure we were clean and that I didn't miss anything. So we'll start pulling back. And what we're going to be looking at is going to be looking at clay. On the left side out there, a little bit of a discarded roots. I'll purge the system once I put the cap back on. But we did have, yeah, that's a root right there on the left side. We did have quite a good bit amount of roots. This is why I took my time to clean it. So in this clay, the clay looks overall, with minus the root intrusion, to be good. There's no setting water. There's no offsets. There's no cracks in the line that I've seen. Again, this is the 3rd time I'm looking at this line, and we'll just check together. But the roots are fairly heavy, but I'm happy to say that I did a really good job getting the roots out. So any straggles you might see that are discarded on the left or right side, we'll purge the system before when the cap goes back on, so that we can go ahead and get those little strings out. You can kind of see there's root intrusion on the right side. It's cut down to the circumference of the drain. So that's going to be as good as it gets with the cleaning. But I want to reiterate that roots will continue to grow unless you replace the whole line or you line the whole line. They'll continue to grow, so we're going to go ahead and recommend doing some preventative maintenance in the future. Officially, we'll say every year. She says about 4 or 5 years ago she had a backup because of roots. The more the roots grow, the higher the risk the ground will move around the drain, or it will cause a crack or an offset in the drain. And that is something that we kind of want to avoid. So if we snake it every year, every other year, I think we give ourselves the best chance to keeping this clay tile drain going as long as possible. You'll see there's root intrusion on the top side that's cut down to the bottom, or cut down to the drain fairly well. That section looks to be cut and cleaned and looks really good. Some of that sediment that's on the bottom is scale from the cast iron. Again, we'll flush it out when I have all the water in the house going when I put the cap back on. We have root intrusion on the left side that's cut down really well. The scale is something that I'm going to touch on in just a second when we get to the cast iron section of the drain. Got some roots on the right side. This section right here was the most root intrusion, I do believe, if my memory serves correctly. So that was the spot that I really wanted to focus on. And again, it's cut down really well. Well, we do have what we'll call a minor offset. I think I might have missed this. It's just a little bit of movement in the drain. You got roots on the top side that may have pushed it, or it may be the ground just moving on its own. The standing water in the clay is not too high. So there's not really, it wasn't accumulating toilet paper right there in my, as far as I remember. And so, yeah, that's what happens if the roots grow indefinitely without anybody cutting them out. They might cause the pipes to move around to cause that a little bit, but very minor. I think that's more just a reflection of just some roots in there. So as long as we're cleaning that out every year or so, we should be in good shape. So right here at 30, we'll call it 35 feet, is our cast to clay transition. So we're now going to be looking at cast iron. We no longer have roots in the cast iron, as to be expected. So we do want to touch on the scale. Scaling is the mineralization that builds up over time naturally on the cast iron drain. Minerals like calcium and magnesium. So I did knock that off whenever I snaked the line. I could run the shower and the sink, flush the toilet a couple times, but we'll flush all that out whenever we get done with the video and put the cap back on, like I've already said, I think twice now. But that's just mineralization, so that's no worries. I do want to point out that the bottom side of the drain does have the beginning stages of some, some age, some rotting due to age. It's very minor, in my personal opinion, in my professional opinion. So you're probably going to get quite a few years out of it, but one day, due to time and how metal works, it will give out. So there's 33 feet of cast. This is a straight shot, straight to the street. That is where the front door is showing. I think it's 40th Avenue, whatever that is. So it's a straight shot. One day the cast will give out. It's just, that's just due to age and how the properties of metal work. It's still in pretty good condition. There's no need to panic or worry now. Just kind of shows the age. But I think if we're cleaning this out every year or every other year for the roots, this line should be lasting a long time without anything happening, with Mother Nature being the one caveat that we can't attest for. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and give this a good report because I don't see anything that's going to warrant immediate attention or any attention in the near future. So if there's any other questions, feel free to give Garvin Sewer Service a call. Again, my name is Caleb. Thank you for your time. And we are now back to our clean out where I'm about to pop the camera out to where I am. This is where we're operating from. This is where we snaked and we also cambered the line. We had to remove the washer and the dryer. We do want to point out that the threads on this cap, on this clean out, are gone. And so we have a cap that's, that we're using that puts a rubber fitting in there. One day this may have to leak and may need to get replaced, but should last a while as well. Any other questions, give us a call. If the invoice summary does not answer any questions, there will be a text summary of this job on that invoice. Thank you much for your time.